January having to hold her back. We'll take a timeout.
I mean, yo, she went from 0 to 100 real quick. She was upset, dog. I don't know what that ref said. I don't know what happened. But yeah, she was basically just saying that has nothing to do with it. So I don't know what they were discussing, but yeah, she was basically pissed about the entire situation, man, and was trying to go after the ref and talk to him, but just clearly walked away. Now, like I said,
this young lady has transcended this damn league to heights they never thought they was going to get to. And for the way
the WNBA is once again caught in controversy, exposing the league's deeply flawed priorities, rushing to penalize its biggest star while continuing to ignore the real issue that's been glaringly obvious all season.
And for the way they're treating her is despicable. It's despicable and it's disgusting at times, bro. This is bad, man. This is bad, dog. And I feel like somebody need to have that voice for Caitlin. Somebody need to have that voice to call this shit out.
Following Caitlin Clark's heated exchange with referee Michael Price during the July 15th game against the Connecticut Sun, the league is reportedly launching a full investigation into whether Clark deserves disciplinary action, conveniently ignoring that it was the referee who clearly instigated the entire.
Caitlin Clark visibly upset with the referee, screaming on the referee, but gets no technical foul. Do you know what that told me? That told me whatever that referee said was a big no-no. Whatever that referee said, as soon as it left his mouth, he said, damn, I definitely should not have said that.
What went down at TD Garden in Boston was far from a routine technical foul. It was a deliberate move by referee Michael Price to provoke the WNBA's biggest star. And when Caitlin Clark finally stood up for herself and pushed back, the league suddenly flipped the script, acting like the victim and launching an investigation into her for allegedly threatening an official. The hypocrisy couldn't be more blatant.
Just going through it slowly, it looked cordial. Like they are just talking, right? Just simple. And yeah, she's calm. Look at her face. She's very much so calm. Calm. Had a little shock look there. I don't know what he's saying. He pointed some fingers. That finger point, it gets real. That fingers start pointing. Right, all right. And yeah. Talking. Then she's like, ugh, like what? Trying to make an understanding of what he just said. And I think she was about to say, that has nothing to do with it. But he said something else, then he walked off.
Let's be absolutely clear about what really happened in that third quarter. Caitlin Clark was already navigating yet another game plagued by questionable officiating. After a controversial out-of-bounds call was overturned in favor of the Connecticut Sun, she approached referee Michael Price for what seemed like a routine exchange. But then something changed. Price said something that instantly shifted Clark's demeanor from frustrated to furious. You don't go from a calm conversation to needing to be physically held back by assistant coach Brienne January unless something seriously out of line.
Nah, I crossed the line. Because you don't get screamed on by a player like that. You don't get shown up on the court by a player like that and not call a technical foul unless you are in the wrong. The refereeing yesterday, we see Tina Charles hit AB with a stiff forearm. Literally turns around and hits her with a stiff forearm. We see Sophie Cunningham get elbowed in her neck.
Maris captured Caitlin Clark shouting, "Are you kidding me?" before being pulled away only to return moments later, telling referee Michael Price, "That's just rude. Grow up." She then made a phone gesture and appeared to say, "I will be calling the league on you." Yet instead of asking what Price may have said to trigger such a reaction from a player known for her composure, the WNBA is now reportedly investigating whether Clark violated league conduct policies by threatening to report the official.
Wonder what he said. Oh! She was about to run over there.
I'm not a good lip reader.
What did he say?
I got it, but I don't want to read card 99.
Huh.
She said basically, "Are you kidding me?" to Michael Price, and that was Breon January. Who is,
She said, "That's just rude.
9
Grow up."
years in Indiana.
Oh!
On the staff.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
a live shot now of Caitlin Clark.
What's the issue? What happened?
He's still upset and wants an explanation
Ooh.
from Michael Price.
She's gonna be calling him. He's like, whatever.
If you're enjoying the content, please hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about the hypocrisy at the heart of the WNBA right now. This is the same league that's let Caitlin Clark get physically targeted game after game without proper protection. The same league that's watched referees make questionable calls often against their biggest star. And yet, it's also the same league reaping massive benefits from the Clark effect. Soaring viewership, sold-out arenas, and non-stop media. But now, the moment Clark finally stands up for herself after a blatantly disrespectful exchange with an official, the league wants to flip the switch and act like the disciplinary board? Seriously, why is it suddenly a problem when Caitlin Clark calls out a referee? Heaven forbid she pushes back after being treated like a punching bag every night. The officiating has been downright embarrassing. Just last night, a Connecticut Sun player appeared to deliberately target her groin, and yet, no response from the league. Nothing. At some point, enough is enough. You can't just keep taking it. You have to push back, and Clark did exactly that. And for the people saying, well, if Angel Reese did this, it would have been a bigger deal, you're missing the point. Reese isn't the one getting consistently hammered out there. Let's use a little common sense. There's a huge difference between showmanship and survival. If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. Let's break this down, because the hypocrisy in the WNBA right now is just staggering. What happened with Caitlin Clark in Boston wasn't just a simple technical foul. It was the boiling point of months, years, really, of being targeted, disrespected, and ignored by a league that claims to protect its players. In the third quarter, Clark was dealing with yet another night of questionable officiating after a controversial call was overturned in favor of the Connecticut Sun. She approached referee Michael Price for what looked like a routine conversation, but something changed. Price clearly said something that flipped the switch. Clark went from frustrated to absolutely furious. Cameras caught her shouting, "Are you kidding me?" Before being pulled away. She later returned and said, "That's just rude. Grow up." Then she made a phone gesture and added, "I'll be calling the league on you." And now the WNBA wants to investigate her for allegedly threatening an official. Let's be real. Caitlin Clark doesn't react like that unless a line has been crossed. This is a player who's taken cheap shots, been knocked to the ground, poked in the eye, grabbed, had to name it, and through it all, she's handled herself with a level of composure that most veterans would struggle to maintain. But even she has a limit. And that limit came when a referee, not a player, disrespected her in a way that no athlete should tolerate. Yet instead of investigating what he said, the league is more concerned with how she responded. That tells you everything you need to know about the WNBA's backwards priorities. Let's not forget, this is the same league that has allowed Clark to be physically targeted game after game. The same league that's watched their referees make absurd, inconsistent calls that always seem to go against their biggest star. And the same league that has reaped the rewards of the Clark effect, sold-out arenas, surging TV ratings, and record-breaking media coverage. But the moment she stands up for herself, suddenly the league wants to play moral police. It's laughable. Coach Stephanie White has been calling this out all season. She's spoken again and again about how Clark gets fouled constantly and how the refs just let it go. After the game against the Sun, White admitted Clark was feeling something in her groin, yet another instance of rough play that somehow didn't warrant a whistle. It's a pattern. Refs let players get overly physical with Clark. They miss clear calls, and when she finally speaks up, she becomes the problem. It's like watching someone get bullied all day, only to see them punished the moment they fight back. What makes it worse? Clark has been on the edge of a suspension all season, due to technical 6 of them now, 1 away from an automatic 1-game ban. The league has had plenty of opportunities to fix this, address the officiating, protect your players, listen to your coaches. But no, they let it fester until it exploded. Clark's own father even warned the league months ago. He brought up the officiating in a preseason interview, and Commissioner Engelbert just brushed it off, and still does. Let's be honest, it's not just Caitlin Clark. This officiating is terrible across the board. Physical play is one thing, but this is reckless. This isn't the 80s NBA. This isn't tough defense. This is unchecked aggression that's being ignored by the people in charge. And when the league finally decides to take action, it's not to discipline a ref for crossing a line, it's to investigate Clark for saying she's going to file a complaint. That's not a threat. That's exactly what a professional should do when an official behaves inappropriately. Go through the proper channels, report it. But instead of supporting that process, the league acts like she's challenging their authority. You can only bottle up frustration for so long. Clark has endured more than most constant criticism from media, online trolls, and analysts who couldn't play a minute in the WNBA. She's been mocked, labeled, even racially targeted. People asking, who's this white girl trying to take over our league, as if fans aren't allowed to love the game because of who's on the court. The truth is, Caitlin Clark brings people to this league. And instead of protecting her, the league is letting the narrative be hijacked by hey and